Good morning, everybody, and happy Halloween. Hopefully, you had an awesome day today to end the week. I know I did, but I want to break it down all with you here because I actually missed a pretty big move today on HKD, but I did end the day with about a 4-hour green day today. So, end the week with a pretty nice day as we go into the weekend, and we're all just really happy with this week. It's been green every single day this week, even with the chop on FOMC day on Wednesday. We still saw some really good action this week. And so, the biggest thing I can say about that is a slow market does not have to mean a red market. And the biggest thing with that is just staying selective, staying picky. And this is exactly how I found the most obvious stocks in the market today, even with an extremely dead pre-market. Now, going into the open today, we had two stocks that looked halfway decent. It was EPWK and HKD. And funny enough, those were the two that I actually made the most money on today. It's funny how preparation works. And so going into the open, I was watching EPWK quite closely, and I'll show you exactly why and sort of what my concerns were here. Now, going into the bell, we had a pretty interesting setup here where we have this big wick off the high. Let me get zoomed in a little bit. We have this big wick off the high, right? This was one of our leading gappers this morning. Big move initially, wick off the high. I'm seeing sellers all through here. So I know that we have sellers all through this price range overhead where there's going to be some sort of weight placed overhead of price. And so I know that I want to take the break of trend. If price does confirm off of VWAP, and you can even see the game plan here, which was, again, watching over VWAP 15 cents for the range back to 17.50 and 22. Well, you look here, and again, I was looking for 17.50 on this. I didn't really get that, but I did get a nice move here and was able to at least take some profits. And I'll show you here exactly how that happened. Now, so you go to market open, again, you break that trend to the upside. And so we're looking for, again, those pullbacks. And so as this thing breaks out of trend, we sort of get pulling away off this past high where you have this lower high where price breaks out, it pulls back. And again, we have the 90 MA and VWAP here to confirm, risking off of that. And so able to take it quite well here from 1440, risking off of VWAP at 1350, about a cent of risk. I got to move here all the way up into the highs here. And you obviously had to take a whole lot of shares on this. This is a 14-cent stock. And the issue is a lot of people didn't have hotkeys set up for a stock this cheap with this type of risk. So it's at a cent of risk, guys. And so you would take substantial amount of size on this, right? But nonetheless, the opportunity was awesome. And so we got a big move here. Let's take a look. Got a big move from 1440s all the way up into the highs towards 16 cents. And of course, the whole way up here, just trailing stops to 1-minute candle low until eventually took my profit off this high once we saw this topping tail get put in. Now, in knowing we have the topping tail put in off the high, we also got a little add off the pullback here for the swing back higher. And again, got a little bit more profit taken, but then of course stopped the last little bit of my runners out here off that pullback. And so this whole move here was just absolutely fantastic. And then I come back here off the pullbacks and I don't really like this one too much looking back, but I liked it in the moment. And so we have, again, this very wide range sort of put in here. And so what I was looking for, and I guess I do actually like this, is we have, again, first candle to make a new high here over VWAP. I'm looking to take it here, risking off the bottom of this candle. This is a setup that I take all the time, a setup that I took earlier this week too. I think the issue with this and why it didn't work out quite as well as I wish it did is we had the 90 MA right over price. I wish we had the 90 MA a little bit beneath that breakout spot where price sort of had something to use as confluence for support to get that move back higher. And I think that's really why this didn't make the move where it did. You can see it ended up making the move, but it was much later after it actually reclaimed the 90 MA. So it actually reclaims the 90 MA here, makes the move. I didn't play it at that point because we had this sell-off here. And so I'm thinking, okay, we have sellers here. I'm not going to go take it here. So gave a little bit back here, small size, and then just sort of scalp it here for pretty much break even. So mostly green from this move here on EPWK. And with that being said, I'm still happy with it. So moving on from that, going over to MSAI. And this is one that I really liked for today because if you look at the daily time frame for one, this thing has been a multi-day runner now pretty much all week. This thing's just been going. I've just, my second day playing this. I had a big trade on this the other day. Today was a little bit smaller, but nonetheless. So going into market open, we have this sort of range form here from pre-market. Look at this, define highs. And again, we have this sort of higher low, this tightening channel here forming into the bell. And so you come out of market open, and of course I did not play it off the bottom of this range because it was a bit extended. I didn't really want to play this at first. I didn't really like price action, but I ended up playing it. And so price breaks over VWAP. This was a great spot here for entry, really, but of course I wasn't watching it. I was at this point playing EPWK and HKD. And this gets breaking over its highs, again, from pre-market over the pre-market highs. And so that's sort of my confluence here to take this trade. And again, it gave us a really good spot here for pullbacks off the 90 MA. And so check this out. So what we've got happen here, is this the right? Oh, this is my wrong chart. Hold on. And so price breaks out here. Look at this. So this is the pre-market high. Pre-market high right here. And so what happens? Price breaks above in a strong and meaningful way. Look at all the volume here on that breakout. So big volume move to the upside, pulls back to retest to confirm. Next candle turns green, breaks a little bit higher. Again, entry happens right here. Stop loss goes to the bottom of this candle. I'm looking for that move higher. And so I'm in here at 204, risking off of pretty much 2. So about 5 cents of risk for the range here, and I got to move back to about 211. So I got a nice little play here, nothing too crazy, but just able to at least get my dice just continue to stair step up. This thing is really nice. And again, simple little pre-market high breakout, taking the pullback off the 90 MA in this really continuation style entry. Just trying to trade the trend here. That's it. Just trading the trend. So we had the break of pre-market highs. We have the 90 MA beneath price. And that's really all it took. So little confluence there. And then last but not least was HKD, which I played pretty well today, but I missed a big move. And I missed a big move because, for one, it's out of my share range, my float range. This thing has a 80 million share float, and so I was a little bit hesitant to even trade this to begin with today, but I did like it. It was on the pre-market watch list, one of the 2 that was on the pre-market watch list today. And it was a very similar setup to CODX earlier this week, so I wanted to give it a shot here. And so I come at the market open, I take a little scalp to start the day. You can see I take it here from 275 to about 295, little 20-cent win to start the morning here. I really wanted to see the break of 3 to get this going into the top of its channel here, but this didn't happen initially. And so I took my small profit, walk away from that with some cushion on the morning. Come back here and we see it's still putting in place this range where we have this high or low setup. Price pulls back. I see it grab liquidity underneath VWAP, so I take the entry. Again, looking for the move back up into previous highs, and we have this, again, a lower high. So I take a majority out and sell the rest there right beneath my entry. Again, small profits here. And so whenever it trades like this here, it begins to make me hesitate just a little bit more because I'm like, all right, this thing just popped and dropped so quick off this high because it tests the top of this range and this instantly shoots back beneath the past low. And then, I'm like, all right, this thing is getting a little bit weird. All right, so then it breaks above and you have this almost supply and demand pivot style entry that I loved. But I got scared. I was like, here's the thing. I came in today. I've got some profit on EPWK. I've got profit on MSAI. But at this point, it was still a slow Friday, and I really want to give back. Playing it up here after seeing how this trades. It's a Friday, it's Halloween, it's been a slower week. I've got some good profit. I don't want to give it back. Why would I want to give that back? That'd be the most frustrating thing, considering today was one of the biggest days of the week. And you go off here, and I take a perfect entry, and I do make some money here. I took it here at 289. And I get a move to about 305. And okay, I make a good bit of profits, but then I see it reject off the high on this attempted breakout, because what we see happen right here is if we look, we have this attempted breakout. And as that candle rejects, just begin to just not like this so much. So we see it rejects here. And so I get out of it. And then, of course, it ends up making the perfect move that I was looking for. And then at that point, I've got FOMO because I missed this entire move. And so then I'm stuck here scalping pullbacks. And yeah, I made a couple bucks on the pullbacks. I played this fairly well. You can see here, scalped it off this first pullback, off the bottom of this candle, got to move up to new highs. Pulls back again, confirms off the 90 MA. Take it risking off the 90 MA to see if we could get a squeeze higher. Again, small profits. Then we see buyers stepping in again. I take it for the break higher. And look at this. I get the break higher. Take the entry, get a break up into the highs, take full profit as it begins to hesitate. And so I still got some really good profits all through here playing this momentum, but it was all with very small size. At this point, my risk to reward was just not there. My mindset was just not there because I was a bit frustrated from missing the big move. And that's just sort of where I sat here. And so that's pretty much sums up the day. So I had good profit on this still today. I wish I had more, but hey, you can't catch them all. So that pretty much sums up the morning recap. It still was an awesome day today, all that being said. So I cannot be too mad. So if you learned something from this video, make sure to subscribe for daily content just like this. I hope you guys had an awesome day today as well. And as always, make sure to claim your 7-day free trial down in the description below. That way you can actually watch me trade these stocks in real time every single day and get watch list, education, chat rooms, alerts, scanners, news, and so much more. And I'll see you back on Monday.